sometimes we can go pretty crazy when we think of the word innovation. We think of innovation, or even digitization and innovation. Any thoughts and examples of where someone has got it right and someone has got it totally wrong?
I think when you think about innovation, and I think about luxury, I think about LVMH. I think about how they create desirability, and they constantly innovate. And it's really interesting seeing LVMH did not have hotel brands or train brands, or they were they literally stuck to their luxury goods and their maisons, and then they acquired spirits, and then they had the champagne, and slowly but surely you see how the brands have evolved. And to think that Louis Vuitton will open a hotel in Paris will be incredible. But you can't just innovate just for the sake of doing it. There has to be a strong strategy and a plan behind that. And I think that's really important. And when you're a hotel brand or you're a restaurant brand, you've got to really think about, making sure you're doing it for the right reasons. I was quite fortunate to work with Dishoom. Is an incredible, iconic, restaurant brand. And they innovated the entire category of Indian food. But they did so because they recognized there was a gap, but they really thought about, the whole idea of going and experiencing something, telling a story about Bombay, and finding a way to do that in a much more 360 emotional way was really key. So whilst they innovated, they also had a very strong purpose. And, they realized that actually, key to that innovation was going to be the people, the design, the props, the soundtrack. The entire experience makes Dishoom that wonderful sort of innovative but really dynamic restaurant story. And I think that's really key. So I think there are plenty of people out there, sadly, who've innovated and they keep changing, and that's quite sad, because they're not stuck to their strategy, their plan. They've not done the research. So I think you've got to really understand what you're doing, and then stick to your plan and understand the audience and what they want. But it is about creating desirability, and I think that's really key.